Okay. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate making punis on hand carders. First, I'm going to discuss the tools that you can use, and if you already are familiar with them and have what you need, you can skip ahead. There's a link at the bottom of the video to see just how to make the punis. So the first tool that is really important is the hand carders. What you're going to look for is the teeth per inch. That will determine what fibers work best with the hand cards. So the finer fibers you're working with, the more teeth per inch you want. So my hand carders are from Strouch. They have 255 teeth per inch. And I think that's the most teeth per inch I've found. And that's initially why I went with that brand as opposed to other ones. But it ranges from 72 to 120 and then all the way up to what I have. The other options that you'll find with hand carders is the curved versus flat. And that's a matter of personal preference, and I would say it's secondary to teeth per inch when you're choosing hand carders. The next tool that a lot of people use for making punis or roll eggs is a blending board. I personally don't have one because I need to blend all my fibers thoroughly beforehand. So the blending board is really just for painting the fibers on. So if you're always going to be working with merino, or you don't mind if one section is silk and one section is merino, then a blending board is probably a really good option for you. The third tool is a drum carder. That is going to be the most expensive, and I think it has the most choices available. I spent a long time looking at different brands because they range from their width, the amount of fibers that the drum carder can hold. The liquor in can either have blades or teeth. It can be stationary or it can move depending on what type of fibers you're using. And generally they're pretty expensive, so unless you are blending a lot of fibers for a long time, I would say a set of hand carders is your best bet in terms of price, longevity, and usefulness. The last tool that you'll need is a puni stick. So this is a 1/4 inch dowel, and you're supposed to sand it and varnish it, and I was too impatient, so I wrapped mine in wax paper and taped over it, and I have been using this for 2 years, and I'm going to keep using it. So you can pick up a dowel at a hardware store and cut it to the length that you want. So now I'm actually going to demonstrate how to make a puni on hand carders. I have some undyed Pima cotton and some dyed Pima cotton, just to show how easy it is to blend the two colors together. So the first thing is you will want to paint the fiber onto the hand card. You don't want to really push it in too hard, just lightly. Now I usually do this until most of the teeth are covered. If you're working with fibers of 2 different lengths, I like to apply the longer fiber first and then sandwich the shorter fibers in between. Okay. So I start out holding my first carder like this, and I take my second carder in my left hand and lightly start to transfer the fibers onto the second hand card. And then no more are coming off of the first hand card. So what I do is take the teeth of the second hand carder and pull the fibers off the first hand card. So at this point, your fibers have been transferred from hand card 1 to hand card 2. And I actually switch hands because I like working with my left hand as the top hand card better. And then you just repeat. And you can move the second hand card on top around to try and distribute the colors a little more if you want a blended puni. So you just do this until you have the desired effect you want. I think this looks good enough for me. So what I'm going to do is the same thing as before, where I take the teeth from hand carder 2 and peel off the fibers from hand carder 1. But I still have this fiber on here. So I take the edge of the teeth from hand carder 1 and then peel the rest of the fibers off. So now everything is floating on top. So now you'll grab your puni stick and just roll the fibers towards you and use the edge of the teeth to finish rolling a puni. And there you go. Now you have one puni to spin. So depending on your fiber prep to start with, you will definitely get a different product in the end. So the cotton I start out with is very smooth. It's been processed at the mill. I have some punis I was gifted at a fiber show, and this is cotton grown in someone's backyard, unprocessed, completely different look and feel. They're both amazing to spin, it's just different. The other, I have some, this is merino. This is my merino. It has most of its crimp still in it, so when I made this roll egg, it is really, really fluffy. And I know you can buy on Etsy or wherever a lot of roll eggs that are made of merino, and they're very smooth. I've spun them, they're really nice to spin. For me, this is too woolen of a prep, so I don't prefer this. And so if you card something and you don't like spinning with it, it could be just the initial fiber prep you started with. And so I would recommend trying different preparations before giving up on a specific fiber type. That's all.